Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, as promised, I'll be covering 100 most important idioms or phrases. Now, this is part 1 of the video wherein you are going to see 50 important idioms or phrases. Now, these are phrases which we see regularly in editorials also, and that from your exam point of view, these are important because we are getting to see a lot of questions related to idioms, and all of you are very tense about this topic, and I promise you that I'll of course help you with it. So here I'm going to provide you a list and we're going to discuss it so that it is easy for you to also remember, learn. Okay, so through my notes I'll help you remember these. Just try and focus through examples, try and learn these, and best is that I have compiled a list based on the ones which are frequently there in your newspapers, editorials, articles, right? So high chances, high probability of these being asked, right? So yeah, I will also provide you the PDF of the phrases and idioms. Just join my Telegram group for that. For the same session, I will provide you the PDF as well for your revision. So I'll move to the PPT here. Right. 100 most common idioms or phrases you must know. This is part 1. Please understand this is valid for all your competitive exams, particularly your banking exams, where they are asking idioms or phrases related questions directly, of course. Also, your SSC exams, MBA exams, all of your important, you can say, competitive exams. Before I begin, guys, you know that I teach English at Olive Board. If you want to buy any course or if you want to buy any test series at Olive Board, you can use my code for discount, which is Harshita. You will get extra 5% off on my code. Let's begin with the first one here, which is by leaps and bounds. Okay, means by great degree, very, very quickly, rapidly. Something is increasing by leaps and bounds, you will say something is increasing very fast. ठीक है, बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहा है. So I'll just write the meaning also for all of you. We can also say leapfrog, right? So if I show it to you on a graph particularly, how will it look if something is increasing? For example, this is your graph. Okay, if I say by leaps and bounds, it is actually increasing very, very quickly, right? Rapidly. Increasing rapidly, increasing very quickly. ठीक है, जो कोई चीज बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रही है. Okay, now I've taken newspaper example only for all of you to understand. A veteran playback singer said that the music industry has grown by leaps and bounds in 75 years. So in 75 years, the music industry has grown by leaps and bounds. Okay. Let me give you a very interesting example. One more interesting example. So Sneha's knowledge of grammar increased by leaps and bounds after watching Harshita ma'am's classes. I think, yeah, now this is my favorite example. Probably you'll remember from this example. Harshita ma'am's classes. Okay, so the knowledge increased by leaps and bounds means rapidly. Okay, very, very quickly, by very large degrees. Okay, we can also say by very large degree. Okay, frame your own examples if you want, but easy one so that you remember it. Let's move to the second one. Wreak havoc. It is not wreck, it is wreak. Please understand here spelling is important. Wreak, W-R-E-A-K, to cause great damage. We see it a lot in articles, newspapers. Showers wreak havoc on the small village. Because of the heavy rainfall, there were destruction, there was damage, right? So wreak havoc क्या बोल सकते हैं आप? नुकसान होना, नुकसान करना, destruction, damage. right? Mm, heavy rains, we usually use it in terms of, in newspapers you will see in terms of disaster, destruction because of natural calamity, rains, right? One example, stress can wreak havoc. Stress can wreak havoc on our or on the immune system. Okay, it can destroy our immune system if we take too much stress, right? So this is another way of using it. Usually newspapers you will listen to news about natural calamity, damage, तब हम बोलते हैं कि बहुत नुकसान हुआ किसी चीज के कारण. Okay, कोई चीज जो बहुत नुकसान पहुंचाए, wreak havoc. Heavy rains wreaked havoc on the south coast yesterday. One example, heavy rains wreaked havoc on the south coast yesterday. Okay, so it is wreak havoc. Next, in the heat of the moment, guys, now imagine a situation, this third one, in the heat of the moment. When we say, imagine a situation, you are talking to somebody and probably somebody provoked you, you're very very angry, and you say something you did not think about, right? You just say it, right? Because you are provoked, you are of course in the heat of the moment you say things you don't mean, right? You are very angry, or you were very very excited, too excited. Okay, you don't think and you just speak. Okay, so that is in the heat of the moment. Now related to an incident, if it has happened with you. So basically it is in Hindi, if I say जल्दबाजी में कुछ बोल देना, कह देना, ठीक है, जल्दबाजी में, without giving thought, without thinking about it, you say or do something, without thinking, as a response to the experience of the moment. Something happened in the moment, like you're just responding. Okay, response, as a response to the experience in the particular moment. He did not mean it, he said it in the heat of the moment, right? So he did not mean it, it was just the experience, the situation was such, right? So actually, I see this in the heat of the moment. People say a lot in the current Big Boss show. So I related with that example, Big Boss OTT. Members say a lot of things to each other in the heat of the moment. Okay, so I can take any example which can help me remember. I have taken this Big Boss example. Okay, जल्दबाजी में. Clear? Fourth, very common one, usher in. Usher in, introduce, to mark the beginning of something. Okay, observe the beginning of something. ठीक है, to commence something, start something, you can say. Okay, it is usher in. Now here, vehicle scrappage policy to help usher in greater investment. This also a newspaper example. So if we get this policy, it will introduce, or it will help start new investments, bigger, greater investments, right? For example, the Industrial Revolution ushered in, means introduced, a period of great technological advancements. Okay. Now, ushered in means shuru karna, it will introduce something new. Okay. So in Hindi, if I have to write, I'll just write प्रारंभ करना. प्रारंभ करना, किसी नई चीज की शुरुआत करना. We also say or use it many times. You will hear like to usher in a change, bring in a big change, usher in change, right? Introduce. Next, pull the plug. Pull the plug, when you're pulling the plug outside, you pull the plug outside, right? If there's a plug, you pull it outside. Push is inside, right? Pull outside. So pull the plug means obviously you are stopping it. Rok dena. Prevent something from happening, prevent something from continuing, to stop it. Okay, to cause something to end. Pull the plug, cause something to end, right? So this actually, the fifth one is not very tough. We see it normally. Can Americans pull the plug on petrol powered cars? Can they stop using petrol powered cars, right? So so if the For example, one more example I'm giving you. If the viewing figures drop, if the viewing figures drop more, comma, the TV network might pull the plug on the series. Might pull the plug on the series. What do you mean? They will stop showing it. They'll stop showing the series. They'll stop the show because if the figures drop, अगर टीवी नेटवर्क क्या करेगा? अगर figures drop हुए, अगर numbers drop हुए, viewership drop हुई, कम हुई, लोग कम देखने वाले हुए इस शो को, तो उसको रोक दिया जाएगा. So pull the plug. They'll stop the series. Pull the plug. ठीक है? Put an end to something. Next. Leave someone in the lurch. When you see, leave someone helpless, abandon somebody, okay, in a difficult situation, in a troublesome situation. We have seen this because of the pandemic. Many people were left in the lurch, right? They became homeless, they became jobless, unemployed. So abandon and leave somebody in a very troublesome, difficult, awkward situation. We say leave someone in the lurch. So we can say leave helpless. Okay. छोड़ देना. Right. COVID-19 pandemic closed sports hostels, leave trainees in the lurch. Trainees were in the lurch. They were helpless because the sports hostels were closed. Okay. Also, you can relate it with an incident. If anytime anybody has left you abandoned, you felt, right, you were abandoned, you left somebody in the lurch, in a troublesome, in a difficult situation. Okay, that is your sixth idiom, leaving someone in the lurch, usually in a difficult situation. मुश्किल में किसी को छोड़ देना, मुश्किल के समय छोड़ देना. I think pandemic example, for example, you can say migrants were left in the lurch, right? Leave past tense will be left. So migrants were left in the lurch during the pandemic situation, right? During the pandemic. Okay. Have your work cut out. When do you use this? Have your work cut out. You have very some difficult thing to do. Okay. So कोई बहुत ही कठिन या मुश्किल काम हो जो करना हो आपको, you have something very difficult to do. She will really have her work cut out to finish all those reports by the end of the week. Guys, if I tell you learn, for example, say 1,000 new words in 1 hour, so what will you say? This is what kind of work? You will say this is, I'm having my work cut out. A very difficult work, a difficult task to do, to accomplish, right? Something extremely difficult. So where you have target. Okay, 1,000 new words in 1 hour. If I tell you to learn 1,000 new words in 1 hour, it will be having your work cut out, right? Have your work cut out. Very difficult thing to do, right? Next, house of cards. So like even if I show it to you on a picture, if you know we make house of cards, does it stay? It is like structure like this, what we see, right? Where there are cards involved, house of cards. All these are cards, okay? So it is complicated, very weak, okay? It's a very weak, complicated plan which will be easily wrong. It can easily go wrong. It can easily be destroyed. It can easily fail, right? So Gaurav decided against investing in the new technology company because he got the feeling that it was a house of cards. Okay? Means why didn't he not invest in the company? Because it looked like a complicated organization which can easily fall. Basically an unstable situation or a plan. Unstable plan or situation. Unstable plan or situation. It can easily drop. It can easily, you can say, go wrong, right? For example, we can also say the film is a house of cards if one scene fails to hold the entire credibility of the plan or of the film comes crashing down. The entire credibility of the film comes crashing down. Okay, so I will say House of Cards is very, you can say, weak, or we say no रेत की दीवार, like, which is easily it will go go wrong. Okay, तो बहुत ही weak structure House of Cards. Now you can also understand from cards, if you make a house of cards, obviously it will be very weak, it can be destroyed easily. Okay, if I just blow it, it can just go away, it can be destroyed. Okay, come full circle, return to past position or situation which is unavoidable. Inevitable means unavoidable. Okay, so घूम कर फिर से उसी जगह पे पहुंचना, घूम फिर कर वहीं पहुंचना, same position. Okay, so if I say to return to the situation from which one started, right, same place, full circle, to come full circle back to the same place from where you started. So if I started from here, I'll come back, come full circle here, back again, right? So yeah, basically we're talking about a past situation, a past trend, a past uh, uh, thing which we go back to again, use it again, right? Things have come full circle now, long skirts are back in fashion. Okay, so again the same trend repeating, so I can say trend repeats. Okay, we are to the same place from where we started, so that is coming full circle, right? To return to a situation from where one started. Okay, right. Next, run on fumes. If something is running on fumes, it is exhausted. Exhausted means when every resource is used. Resources use हो गए, energy is used, all the enthusiasm is used. Okay, so you are running on fumes, right? You are actually exhausted. Basically खाली कर डालना, we can say in Hindi. बुरी तरह थका देना, थक गए हैं. Run on fumes means the company had been running on fumes lately, so it's no surprising that they shut down their operations. It's not surprising. Okay, it's not surprising that they shut down their operations. It's running on fumes. They had no resources. They had very little energy left, no resources left. Okay, one easy example, guys, for all of you. After having partied late into the night, Sanjay was running on fumes the next day at work. तो इस तरीके से भी यूज कर सकते हैं जब आपकी पूरी एनर्जी एग्जॉस्ट हो गई हो, यूज हो गई हो, अब आप फ्यूम्स पे चल रहे, रन ऑन समथिंग, किसी चीज पे चलना, फ्यूम्स पे, nothing left, no energy, no enthusiasm, no resources, right? So company, we can use it for individuals. Running on fumes means with very little energy. Okay, next, make a pitch for. What do you do when you make a pitch for somebody? Something, मनाना किसी चीज के लिए, right? समझाना, फुसलाना, मनाना, समझाना, fuslana, all of these can be used. So basically you say something in support of somebody, make a pitch, you try to persuade, okay, try to convince, try to persuade people to do something or to buy what you have to offer. Okay, so for example, Amanda will be making a pitch for a new product idea at the meeting today. So she has a new idea, product idea. She'll speak about it. She'll sell it. This is good. She'll talk about its qualities, how it is good. She'll say everything in support of her idea. Okay, so she's basically making a pitch. Usually in say corporate meetings, we use this term a lot. If you are in a meeting and you are selling an idea, if you're selling something, you're selling an idea, you're trying to convince people, persuade people, okay, this will work. You are making a pitch, right? Okay, so yakin dilana, basically yakin dilana that this will work. Too many Hindi words, but yeah, to make it simple for you. Okay, so guys, remember, when you make a pitch for something, right, you want something from your parents, you want a new vehicle, a motorcycle or a two-wheeler, and you make a pitch for it, right? So your dad says make a pitch for it, and you suggest how it will be useful, how it will help. Okay, so that is making a pitch for your something in support of an idea, trying to convince somebody to buy it. Okay. Okay, so this was the 11th one. Moving to the next one, 12th. Devil's advocate. Now, this is a very, very common idiom. Probably, I feel that you must have heard about it. Person who advocates an opposing cause, right? So, there is a discussion happening, and you express your opinion, which you may not agree with. Just for the sake of it, you express or say something which is very, very different from other people's opinion. So there is a group of people who are, I'll explain you in an easy way. So there is this one group of people, okay, who are saying something, and this is you. Okay, this is you, right? And what do you say? They say something, you say something just the opposite of what they are saying. Why you do that? Because you want the argument to happen. You want the argument to be more interesting. You put an opposite view. So all these people are of the same view, but now you are standing here, you give an opposite viewpoint just for argument purpose, to see whether if we argue and we'll come to a conclusion, to thoroughly examine something. You support the opposite argument, okay, which is not very popular in the public, right? So that they think about that also very seriously, the opposite viewpoint. Okay, so that they think about the opposite viewpoint also seriously. You become a devil's advocate. So here you are the devil's advocate. Understanding? The schoolmaster in school, when we have discussions, right, they often play at devil's advocate with the students, because they are having a good discussion about a topic, and to make students know, to make people know about a different viewpoint, opinion on the same topic, you play the role of devil's advocate, right? So you're understanding who is this person who will always give an opposite view, who will always give an opposing view, but not for anything else, and for of course, for the sake of argument, for detailed examination about the topic, for just that purpose. Clear? Right? One more thing I have to share. Even in meetings this happens. When you are working, you will see in corporate meetings, जब ये meetings होती हैं, वहां पे भी कुछ लोग बैठे होते हैं, वो अपना व्यू पॉइंट देते हैं कि ये ऐसा ऐसा है, तो सामने बॉस probably एक दूसरा व्यू पॉइंट रखते हैं कि और डिस्कशन हो के बारे में, और डिटेल में एक्सप्लेनेशन हो, और हम उस टॉपिक को एक्सपोज करें, राइट, एग्जामिन करें. So that is playing a devil's advocate. Any person who give opposite viewpoint. ठीक है? Hopefully you will remember it now. Next is elbow room. So if I use my elbow here, if I want elbow room, means I want this much space, right, for operation. Even when you are sitting, you need this much space. Even if I am writing here, for example, if I have to write here, ठीक है, तो इतना space तो मुझे लगेगा ना यहाँ पे ऐसे elbow room. So adequate space to work, right? So हाँ, and freedom to work. So we use it also, breathing space, freedom, ऐसे भी use कर सकते हैं इसको. So I can also write, guys, breathing space. Okay, the freedom, little bit freedom, we all know, right, is required to work, right? So पर्याप्त जगह, अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलूं, ठीक है, पर्याप्त space, पर्याप्त जगह to work. Okay. Suppose, for example, there are 250 people on the stage, on a small stage, okay, on a stage, on a small stage, then obviously which means there is not enough elbow room. The place was so crowded. Agar bahut bheed ho, aap bologe there is no elbow room, right? There are so many people on the stage, there's no elbow room. Okay, you can use it like this. Other context I have told you, jaise yahan pe hai, the management gave the new director plenty of elbow room means more freedom. The director was given freedom to act, okay, the power. Okay, so both ways you can use, right? Next, 14th, the buck stops here. You will see this idiom, guys, in many articles, in many editorials. What does it mean? The buck stops here means responsibility will not be passed to anybody else. You take the responsibility. Okay, you say I am responsible for this. Okay, तो जब आप जिम्मेदारी स्वीकारते हैं, okay, जिम्मेदारी स्वीकारना, जिम्मेदारी स्वीकारना, हाँ, this was my responsibility. A recent example from the newspaper, okay, Biden says, Joe Biden, you know, buck stops with me and defends Afghanistan withdrawal. ठीक है, तो जो भी तालिबान का हुआ अफगानिस्तान में, जो बाइडन ने क्या बोला कि हाँ, आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट, द बॉक्स स्टॉप्स हियर, आई एक्सेप्ट. ठीक है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी विल नॉट बी पास टू समबडी एल्स. पॉलिटिशियंस what do they do? क्या करते हैं पॉलिटिशियंस? They blame the other person, the other party, the other organization. Okay, they don't take responsibility. But when you say I'm taking responsibility, my fault, my responsibility, the buck stops here. Okay, next is 15th. Take into account, very simple phrase, consider something. ठीक है, हाँ, taken into account means ध्यान में रखना, किसी चीज को consider करना, ध्यान में रखना. okay, ठीक है, हिसाब में लेना, consider करना. okay, I hope my teacher will take into account the fact that I was ill and therefore I missed the class. तो अगर आप क्लास में नहीं आए और क्योंकि आप बीमार थे, तो you will say, okay, I hope my teacher will understand, will take this into account, will consider this. Compensation awards जो आपके मिलते हैं, जो भी विक्टिम होता है, जिसको जितना पेन हुआ, सफरिंग हुआ, वो सब ध्यान में रखते हुए कॉम्पनसेशन दिया जाता है. So compensation awards usually take into account the emotional pain, the suffering that the victim has gone through. Okay, ठीक है, so these are taken into account. It is a phrase which means consider something. Okay, larger than life. Okay, larger than life attitude. If I say somebody has larger than life attitude, he is a very personality who is very outgoing, friendly. अगर आप पर्सनालिटी की बात करोगे तो आप बोल सकते हो कैसी पर्सनालिटी? फ्रेंडली, बहुत ही आउटगोइंग पर्सनालिटी को लार्जर देन लाइफ एटीट्यूड, बहुत इंप्रेसिव, राइट, एक्साइटिंग. इट इज मोर above the average person, above average, right? Larger than life. Okay, larger than life people are get attention also. They live like very beautifully, in a very outgoing manner. Party karte hain, appearance or behavior are like that. Okay, in movies, especially Karan Johar movies, if I have to give you the example of a Bollywood movie, Karan Johar movies, how they show, guys, the characters, the actors, they have always shown the characters with larger than life attitude, right? Very outgoing, very friendly, personalities, very impressive, not like average people, right? Okay, so they have characteristics which are very impressive, right? और compared with normal human beings, average human beings अगर आप compare करोगे तो उनसे ज्यादा impressive characteristics होते हैं वैसे. ठीक है, in serials and movies you definitely notice that larger than life. Up the ante. So recently I have started seeing or coming across this particular phrase, up the ante, to increase the stake. Okay, so for example, there are two parties and they are negotiating on something, right? And you increase the stake in a dispute, in a conflict, right? Because okay, you are basically trying to weaken the other opposite party. So for example, the protesting workers, they upped the ante by refusing to work until their demands were met by the management. So there is a group of workers demanding union, demanding for wage increase. Okay, and they say by 10% increase. Now they have upped the ante, they will say by 15%. If you will not increase, you will not do the work. Okay, So you increase the demand. Okay, increase the risk in something, increase the demands, or you can also say risk. You want, guys, you want more, you want to obtain better results, and for that you do this. Okay, up the ante to obtain better results. Okay, suppose for example, if I say there was a competition between teams and one team hired some new people also, support staff also. Why? Because they have raised the stake, they want to win the competition badly, so they will up the ante. Okay, so they will hire somebody. Usually it happens, guys, when there is negotiation, there is fight and discussion going about it. You raise what is at stake, what is at risk, because you want to win badly. Okay, so that is up the ante. You raise your demands, you increase your demands, right? Bear the brunt. Now bear means, you know, undergo. जब आप bear the brunt means आप सहन करते हो. Now bear the brunt means बर्दाश्त करना. जैसे हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं इसको very simply बर्दाश्त करना. I hope हिंदी spelling is right. ठीक है, बर्दाश्त करना, सहना, है ना, सहना, बर्दाश्त करना. Brunt means main force of the enemy. Brunt is what is the main, जो आपका होता है enemy, main force of an enemy is the brunt. So to bear that, okay, bear the brunt, right? Attack, bear the attack. Okay, to suffer the worst part of an unpleasant or problematic situation. Because of unemployment, youngsters are bearing the brunt. Okay, when our system crashed, the call center employees bear the brunt of the customer's anger. Okay, so for example, when the system crashed in the call center, the call center employees, okay, bore the brunt. In past tense, sentences in past, so I will write bear, past tense is bore. Okay, you can change the tense of the idiom according to sentence. Bore the brunt of the customer's anger. Okay, customer's anger. So there were many customers who were actually complaining, angry, right? And the who had to suffer? The call center employees, because system crashed. So everybody was getting angry. Okay, so बर्दाश्त करना, bear is बर्दाश्त करना. Okay, तो गुस्सा बर्दाश्त करना यहाँ पे. Okay, bear the brunt, suffer the worst part of some negative situation. Next, final straw. The final straw, guys, बर्दाश्त से बाहर means there are a lot of bad things that happen to you in a series, in a line. In a series means back to back something bad is happening to you. Okay, now final one is final straw. After this you can't take anything else which is bad. Okay, जो आपके अब बर्दाश्त से बाहर है, बर्दाश्त से बाहर. Okay, you can't now take it. Okay, last setback in a series of events that have happened to you, bad events that have happened to you. You have lost patience. Finally, you can't handle anything more. Okay, you want it to stop working, right? Last in a line of unacceptable occurrences. Last, final means last, right? So last in a line of unacceptable occurrences. Okay, final is last. Okay, so see what happened. There is a man and he faced back to back. He lost his job, very serious. Okay, negative. Then his mother passed away. Okay. Third, the wife asked for divorce. So this is back to back. Now he can't take anymore. Such serious situations. Wife asked for divorce. तो एक आदमी जिसने अपनी नौकरी खो दी, फिर उसकी मदर की डेथ हो गई, फिर उसकी वाइफ ने डाइवोर्स मांगा. तो ये डाइवोर्स मांगा. नाउ दिस वाज द फाइनल स्ट्रॉ. ठीक है, so back to back very negative events. Now he can't take it anymore. Okay, so she always been rude to me, but it was the last straw when she started insulting my mother. Somebody is there, she was always rude. But when that person insults the mother, that was the last. After this, they will not tolerate. Okay, they don't have the patience. They will lose patience now. They will not tolerate this. Okay. 20th is in letter and spirit. In usually you have seen this, you have heard this. Letter and spirit means when you follow a rule. If in editorials they say follow it in letter and spirit, means what is written and what is in spirit. In letter we say words, interpretation of words, literal meaning. Intent means why it is written. What do you want by this particular thing? Objective of writing it. That also you must follow. In spirit, we say. Okay. So both understanding the real meaning of it. Okay. Or you can also say at heart, you should understand. Okay. Whatever has been said or written. If you understand it, what is exactly the words also and what it means. Exactly what is the intention. Why the objective. Also understand why this was made, why this was written. Okay. So basically, when you are not only seeing the surface meaning, upri upri nahi dekhna hai meaning, not only seeing the surface meaning, ऊपर ऊपर ही मीनिंग नहीं समझना, डिटेल में कि क्या कहना चाहते हैं, क्या मतलब है, क्यों है ये, क्यों लिखा है, क्यों कहा है, स्पिरिट में भी, दिल से भी फॉलो करना. Okay, for example, traffic lights. Guys, how many of you follow this rule? When there is a red light, we say you have to stop your vehicle. Is it followed? This is a rule. This is a traffic rule. Okay. Red light means stop. But how many of you follow? There are many people who don't follow this. So ये एक लिखा हुआ rule है, but not many follow it in spirit. Okay. So yeah, the students are expected to become responsible citizens, follow the Constitution of India in letter and spirit. They must follow the Constitution. So whatever is written, also they should understand the objective behind it. Okay. So objective क्या है, क्या लिखा है Constitution में, वो समझते हो if you follow it, completely following it. Okay, letter and spirit. Get? I think traffic light example will help you. So many people, they don't obey the traffic light rules. They still keep on moving even if there's a red light because they're not following it, the rule in letter and spirit. Okay, right. To no avail, avail means use. So your 21st idiom, avail is use. So means without success. Something which went useless. Okay. The issue they tried to discuss calmly but to no avail. कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ उस चीज का. ठीक है. Something which went waste, useless. कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ किसी चीज का, no avail. Without any effect, without success. Okay. Without any effect. Okay. So to no avail, something which went useless. बेकार गया. Blaze a trail, a second idiom. When you say blaze a trail, ये चीज करना जो पहले नहीं हुई. To do something that has never been done before. To be the first to do something new, to do something important. You can say नई राह दिखाना. कुछ ऐसी नई चीज करना जो पहले नहीं हुआ, कुछ important चीज. Set a trend. We can say in English, set a trend. Trend set करना. Okay. For example, company blazed a trail with the first small computers. So सबसे पहली बार small computers लाए, they did something very new, which did not happen earlier. For example, SpaceX. If I give you a recent example, SpaceX is blazing a trail. How? By sending humans on Mars. Not so recent example, but still by sending humans on Mars. Doing this for the first time, sending people on Mars. So they are blazing a trail. कुछ एकदम नया कर रहे हैं जो पहले नहीं हुआ है, कुछ important new. ठीक है. Kangaroo court. Okay, kangaroo court is unofficial, unfair. Okay, court unofficial. कुछ तो भी अपना जजमेंट देना वैसा कोर्ट, जहाँ कुछ तो भी जजमेंट होता है. अनफेयर. ओके, किसी को भी गिल्टी बोल देंगे कि आप गिल्टी हो, यू आर द क्रिमिनल. ओके, intended to find someone guilty. You can also say गैर कानूनी न्यायालय. So this is not a legal court. Okay, it was a kangaroo court because where the so-called trial took 1 to 2 minutes, means within 1 minute. Okay, judgment passed, you are guilty, go. Okay, so that is very funny, right? Unofficial, unfair, ignores, they ignore the required standards of court. Okay, ignore the required standards of justice, ignore the required or recognized standards of justice, right? That is kangaroo court, whatever we pronounce it. 24th one, to go back to the drawing board. When will you go back to the drawing board? All the plan you have written is failed. Cross, you will go back here and you will make a new plan to start planning again because old plan failed. Okay, you go back to the drawing board, you pick up a chalk and you begin writing. Okay, plan, new plan. You start writing. You go back to the drawing board to start over again. Okay, to start, you can just say to start over or to start again with a new design, with a new plan. Okay, because you failed earlier, old attempt failed, आप पुराना प्लान काम नहीं किया, आप एकदम न्यू प्लान बनाने जा रहे हो. आप कहाँ पे बनाओगे? ड्राइंग बोर्ड पे दोबारा. ठीक है, नया प्लान. Okay, I need to go back to the drawing board to on this project because I want to have start about or plan about the project from the beginning. Okay, so I assembled the furniture wrong side up, which means from the start again I have to do it, right? Which means I have to go back to the drawing board. Okay, example. ठीक है, दोबारा से कोई चीज शुरू करना, प्लान नया बनाना क्योंकि पुराना फेल हो गया. Remember like this. Again, on the drawing board we will write a new plan. Okay. 25th. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, both are negative. See, devil also and deep blue sea also. So when you are stuck between two very, very bad choices, awful choices, right? Difficult situation, both two situations which are equally bad, equally unpleasant, right? So you are stuck between two awful choices. When does this happen? When does this situation happens? You have got two choices, both are bad, right? Okay, so for example, very good example here. Let's understand from this example only. If I didn't take out another loan, I will go deeper into debt and I could not pay off the debts I already owe. Okay, so for example, you have taken money from a few people, right? You have taken loan from few people and now you have zero money. How will you return that? You are planning to take a new loan to pay off old loan, to pay off the money of the old loan. So this is two like alternative choices which are like devil and deep blue sea. Where again new loan burden will come. So that is a very perfect example. तो आपके पास सिर्फ दो choices हैं जो दोनों ही गंदी हैं, दोनों ही खराब choices हैं, मतलब दोनों ही बकवास choices हैं, बहुत ही difficult situation है. अगर आप choose भी करो तो दोनों ही unpleasant है. Okay, so tough condition to be in between the devil and the deep blue sea. I think loan example is easy to understand. Okay, a grinding halt. Halt means stop. Okay, halt is stop. So grinding halt means gradually when it comes to a stop. Okay, so धीरे धीरे करते रुक जाना, जाम लग जाना, रुक जाना. ठीक है, grinding halt means gradually something stops. So transport strike got the capital to a grinding halt because there was a strike, there was a gradual stop, right, in the capital. Also we can say like during the pandemic some teachers did not let the learning come to a grinding halt, they still continue teaching online. So yeah, grinding halt means gradually something stops, slows, the momentum slows down and it stops, right? Grinding halt. Okay, next is very easy. Hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head means exactly where it is required. Okay, completely true. Exact spot, on the spot, completely true. Just if I say guess my age, and if you guess it correctly, I said, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You found the right answer. Okay. So when I found the perfect accessories, with the outfit, I was happy because exact I got. So hit the nail on the head means when you get exact answer, when you are true, when you are right, you guess something and you are exactly right, you are hitting the nail on the head. 28, cash in on. Again, a very important phrase, guys. When you say cash in on, it means to exploit. It means to basically use, take advantage of something. Okay. So, after the market crash, जब market crash हुआ, what happened? Some homeowners cashed in on the chance to purchase property at rock bottom prices. Okay. So very you can say at very less cost because market crash tha, they bought properties at very less prices as compared to when it is in normal market condition. Okay. So जब आप एक advantage लेते हो, situation का advantage लेते हो, use करते हो situation को अपने advantage के लिए, we say cash in on. Okay. Next, corners, negative. It is used in negative because you try to do something in a very fast way, cheap, fast way, easy way. Okay. So basically you save money, pinch pennies. You see guys, some people, companies also, if I say example, for some example is to save money, just to save money, you try to do something in easy way, right? So for example, in companies, you say they will not put a fire extinguisher. In factories, they will not put fire extinguisher just to save few money, few penny. But then that is negative, that costs them a lot later on, usually, right? So to not do a job very thoroughly, okay, as you should, because you want to finish it quickly, like just usko टालना, काम टालना, आपको कटौती करते हो आप, क्योंकि आप फटाफट उसको खत्म करना चाहते हो, कटौती करते हो, but जहाँ नहीं required, so you cut corners, take shortcuts. Okay. There are some people जिन्हें पसंद है, they like to take shortcuts. Yeah. So yeah, for example, home decorating jobs, we of course do it in a very easy way, cheap way, home decoration, right? So we are, of course, we miss or ignore the necessary rules to do something. We miss the necessary components. Okay, like for example, I gave you in a factory there was no fire extinguisher, an accident happened. So they cut corners and that was the result, right? You miss the necessary requirements. Okay. So eventually you try to save money, katauti karte hain, but then it becomes tough. Eventually in the last you pay for it because there's something which negative which happens, right? So shortcut, we should not always find shortcuts. Cut corners is like that. We could finish this project early only if we cut corners, only if we do it in cheap way, easy way, faster way. Okay. The eye to eye, very common one. This was in their paper also, in agreement. So having the same opinion as others, to have the same opinion as others, right? So किसी से सहमत होना, सहमति होना, agreement. Okay. Right? I don't see eye to eye with my father on many things. I don't agree. See eye to eye means सहमति, agreeing. Clear? Next is pay lip service. You're paying just lip service. Means you will say something, but you will not do it. You will not implement it. Only false, insincere declaration. Okay. So you just verbally support something. Okay, you don't take actions, lip service, like how politicians do just lip service. Okay, they don't, will get this scheme, this will happen, that will happen, but it doesn't work. They don't implement it, right? They're not reliable. Okay. Um, okay, so expression of support only you show by words, verbal support. You don't believe in it, you don't implement it. Okay, so she paid lip service to blue collar workers. Blue collar workers means factory workers who do job at the ground level, but she did nothing to help them. She just paid lip service. Okay, I'll help you, but no help, no action. ठीक है, सिर्फ दिखावा. ठीक है, मदद करने का या कुछ करने का, सिर्फ बोलना. ओके, उसको एक्ट नहीं करना, उस पे एक्ट नहीं करना, सिर्फ बोलना, प्रॉमिस करना, फेक प्रॉमिस, फॉल्स प्रॉमिस. Hit and miss, which is occurs at random. For example, farming. Sometimes the product is output is okay, sometimes no. So it is a hit and miss thing, right? Means not dependable, not reliable, not successful all the time. Okay, not reliable, unpredictable. अच्छा एक word होगा, we can't depend on it, so it is unpredictable, hit and miss, right? We can also say लापरवाही से in Hindi if I write it for you, किया गया. Now this one, लापरवाही से किया गया. So the advertisements were rather hit and miss and not based on proper market research. Okay, so without proper planning, something which is done without proper planning. Okay, randomly. Okay, sometimes students prepare without proper planning, that is hit and miss. You don't have a proper schedule, a timetable. Okay, hit and miss preparation, right? Next is jump on the bandwagon, something which is in fashion. You also start doing it because you feel that, you are not very interested, but you feel that it might be successful. Okay, for example, I'll give you a very very good example, cryptocurrency. So when the rates of this were going high, many people started investing in cryptocurrency. Okay, they jumped on the bandwagon. Okay, so many farmers are jumping on the bandwagon. How? They are advertising organically grown food because organic food is in trend, so they also are doing it. Okay, so you can also say jump, or we can say another word for jump, hop on the bandwagon. You will also start doing what is in trend. Okay, Hindi translation is very simple and exact. Hindi translation, बहती, we definitely say बहती गंगा में हाथ धोना. ठीक है, तो सभी लोग कर रहे हैं, ट्रेंड है, सक्सेसफुल हो सकता है, वी ऑल्सो स्टार्ट डूइंग इट. Okay, now you are not really interested in it, but you start doing it thinking, yeah, it can be a good huge success, right? It is in trend, it is in fashion. Clear? तो आप कोई चीज ऐसे करते हो, जैसे क्रिप्टो करेंसी में आपने इन्वेस्ट कर दिया क्योंकि सभी कर रहे हैं, ट्रेंड में है, सक्सेसफुल हो सकता है, आप बहुत इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हो, बट स्टिल यू जंप ऑन दी बैंडवेगन. Small talk means light conversation, chit chat. Okay, very simple. I think everybody understands chit chat. So that is small talk. Gupshup. Okay, not serious conversation, not something on very intellectual topic. Normal, like we do in with our friends when we go out, right? Polite conversation, uncontroversial, unimportant matters. Kuch to bhi gupshup, chit chat. Okay, so that is small talk. She was good at making small talk to get guest at ease. Small talk means normal. Okay, normal conversation, silly conversations. In the scheme of things, this is an important one, guys. In the scheme of things, why? When we want looking at a situation in a more broad way, in a broader way, in a general way. Okay, okay. So looking at things in a broader way, we say. How? For example, we got the leather seats. I bought a car. Okay, I will also say, for example, if there is a car, okay, this doesn't even look like a car. My drawing is poor then. Whatever. I bought a car, and yeah, these are the wheels. These are the steering. Okay, now I will buy leather seats also because I know like I will use this car for next 8-10 years. So I'll look at the bigger picture. I'll not try to save cost. I'll buy leather seats also for my car. Okay, so you in the scheme of things means overall if you see, yeah, I know I'll keep the car for 8-10 years, so it's good that I have maintenance will be okay. I have to maintain it. I'll buy leather seats, right? Small price to pay leather seats, okay, I'll buy it because I have to see the larger picture. In the scheme of things means चीजों की योजना में to see the bigger picture, larger picture. It is a major business within Canada, but not very important in the global scheme of things. Means Canada, inside Canada, it's a big business, but overall global business, if you see, it's not so important, right? Now, if you look at the bigger, broader picture, okay. Next, a tall order, something very, very demanding, something very, very exacting, difficult thing to do, demanding thing to do is tall order. Okay, it's a tall order, kathin kaam. Okay, right, guys, I don't think you'll be able to read it like this. I'll write it clearly here again. In Hindi we say kathin kaam, mushkil kaam, tall order. Okay, so for example, the boss wants Dipanshu to compile 100 pages of data each day, right? This can be a very tall order. Okay, getting the project done on schedule is going to be a tall order. Okay, baking thousands of cupcakes in one night can be a tall order. Example, baking 1,000 cupcakes in one night can be a tall order. A tough task to, or unreasonable, I would say, very important here, unreasonable, which is not practical. Okay, a difficult demand, not practical demand. Next is walk a tightrope. When you say it is a walking a tightrope, it means a difficult situation in which even a very small mistake can hamper your progress, right? Um, in Hindi, if I have to say, नाजुक परिस्थिति से गुजरना. Okay, meaning you have to be very, very careful, right? Because it is a very risky situation. Okay, so yeah, because it allows the navigation allows you very little or no error. There's no error allowed. Very small mistake can have bad results. So walking a tightrope is, he was walking a tightrope trying to keep everybody happy. Now you can't keep everybody happy. You have to, there will be some people who will always be sad, always be disappointed. So that is like walking a tightrope if you try to do that, if you try to keep everybody happy. So कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन जहाँ पे जो रिस्की है, बिकॉज इवन इफ यू नेविगेट, अगर आप इधर उधर कुछ भी स्मॉल मिस्टेक भी करते हो तो उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस इज नॉट गुड, रिजल्ट उसका अच्छा नहीं है. ठीक है, डेलिकेट सिचुएशन. ओके, face the music. Now you have done something wrong and now you have to face the music means you will bear the consequences, right? Something unpleasant will happen. Okay, so हम हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे, किए का परिणाम भुगतना. Okay, you face the music. If she lied to me, then she'll have to face the music. You did something wrong, now you'll get punishment for it. Okay, you will face the music means consequences, face the consequences. Okay, अगर हमने pollution नहीं रोका तो हम guarantee है future में consequences कुछ negative face करेंगे, right? So right, accept punishment for wrongdoing, accept criticism for wrongdoing, that is face the music. Criticism or punishment for wrongdoing. Next, a Herculean task. Again, many idioms if you notice for difficult tasks like a tall order. Herculean task is also which requires great strength. Actually, this is more related to strength. Okay, requires much effort, great strength like Hercules. That is why this name Herculean. Strength like Hercules, very hard to perform, which takes a lot of energy, lot of effort. बहुत ही मुश्किल काम. Okay, more related to physical energy, physical strength इसमें ज़्यादा लगती है, right? Building of great pyramids of Egypt must have been a Herculean task. From the example, it should be clear. Also, if I say recent wearing a mask for hours, right, during the pandemic was a Herculean task. Yeah, this can be one example. So, जिसमें बहुत ताकत लगती है, कैसा काम जो बहुत strength लगती है, energy लगती है, effort लगता है, वो Herculean. To turn a deaf ear. Deaf ear you're turning means you're not listening. You are ignoring. You're not listening. You're not responding. Ignore karna. Okay. Completely ignore someone when they complain or when they ask for something. You intentionally not give someone attention. Intentionally. Jaan ke. Turn a deaf ear. Yeah. Jaan ke attention nahi dena. Ignore karna is turn a deaf ear. The government has been turning a deaf ear to the please means to the request of its citizens. Okay, please is request. So ignore, intentionally not pay attention, जान मूझ के ध्यान नहीं देना, किसी की बात नहीं सुनना, जान के, that is turn a deaf ear. Intentionally not give attention to someone or something. Okay, turn a deaf ear. Keep at bay. Keep at bay means at a distance, right? By the way, one very good example I also have to give you here. Usually, when you fly, if you fly in aircraft or in a plane, if you travel by airplane, you see that the air hostess they give safety instructions before the plane takes off. So all those safety instructions, people in the plane they continue talking with each other. They turn a deaf ear. They'll ignore completely. They don't listen to safety instructions. I have noticed this in planes when I travel also. You will see people, the travelers, they'll be busy with their own work, eating, drinking, around, chilling, and then nobody listens to the safety instructions. So they turn a deaf ear to it. That can be a very good example. Okay, yeah. Keep at bay. दूर रखें. Keep at bay means keep far. Prevent them from reaching, attacking, or affecting you. So basically, you are keeping something at a distance, right? So that it doesn't harm you in any way. Okay. So you have to start meeting your minimum monthly repayment if you want to keep your creditors at bay. Creditors should be, attackers should be far because they should not affect you. For example, also one simple example, eating oranges keeps cold at bay. You will not get cold if you eat oranges. So at bay means, keep at bay means far, दूर. ठीक है, दूर रखना, prevent. Snail's pace, guys, how a snail walks very, very slowly, right? How a snail walks very, very slowly at a snail's pace, very simple one. Okay, so if you want to emphasize that something is done very, very slowly, you say at a snail's pace. Dheere, dheere, yeah, dheere, I would say dheere gati se. Pace means speed, gati, dheere gati se, very, very slowly. Okay, so at a snail's pace. Probably you can say notifications for your exams, government exams come at a snail's pace, right? Okay. Next, in the pipeline means something which is expected, already planned. It will happen. It is expected. Will very, very close, coming close. In near future, it will happen. The project is in the pipeline. Usually, 3 new models in the pipeline. The company has 3 new models in the pipeline. So expected, in operation. Okay. So जो बहुत ही जल्दी होने वाला है, प्रक्रिया में है. Next, 44th, all the boxes. When you tick all the boxes, now here when you make a plan, okay, tick all the boxes, right? Why? All the necessary requirements you fulfill. Okay, you satisfy, you fulfill all that is desired, all that is necessary. Even when you prepare a list, guys, list of action items to do, you put a tick means all is satisfied, done. Okay, so all the boxes, like for newest thriller, ticks all the boxes the author's fans will be hoping for, means the thriller is exciting, it is interesting, all the boxes, all the qualities, all the necessary conditions or necessary expectations are fulfilled. ठीक है, so जब आप बोलते हो टिक ऑल द बॉक्सेस मींस आप संतुष्ट हो किसी चीज से, हो गया, कंप्लीट हो गई चीज, राइट. In tatters is ruined, destroyed. Okay, in shreds, torn, in many places, in bits. You can use all of this, in bits and pieces, right? So yeah, the team hope of winning the cup are now in tatters, destroyed. They did not win. In tatters, it is destroyed. Okay, ramp up. Okay, when we say ramp up means increase the level of something. Start doing something with more amount of resources, you can say, right? Increase the speed, increase the power. So power, speed of an activity increase. Cost also can be increased, right? So basically बढ़ाना, increase करना, speed बढ़ाना, cost बढ़ाना, ramp up. We usually say ramp up the production. Okay, so company announced plans to ramp up production to 10,000 units. तो अभी वो कितने units बना रहे थे प्रोडक्ट के, से 500, अब उन्हें 10,000 बनाने, तो एकदम से बढ़ाना, लेवल को बढ़ा देना, इंक्रीज कर देना. शार्पली मीन्स एकदम तेजी से बढ़ाना, ग्रेटली, राइट, इन नंबर. Breathing room, I think we learned breathing space. So buffer time, similar meaning, period of rest. Buffer time, or you can say just breathing room is period of rest. Okay, so where there is freedom for movement or relief. Relief means rest from a given pressure. So breathing room means बहुत stress है but अब rest मिला है, उससे आराम मिला है उस stress से. So that is breathing room we have got. Okay, tip of the iceberg, when do we use it? 48, guys, tip of the iceberg. There is a huge problem, there's a big problem, but yeah, we see a small part of it. We are not able to see the full problem. It's a small part we have seen, but actually underlying it, beneath it, there is tip of the iceberg like this. We just are able to see this much portion. This is underwater. This portion we are not able to see. So we, of a much larger problem, we are able to see just this much. Okay, but नीचे जो है ये underlying part we are not able to see because it is below water. So tip of the iceberg means small part of a big problem, but that is hidden. The other part is hidden. After the party happened, the kitchen was in very untidy condition, but that is only tip of the iceberg. The whole house was actually dirty. It is not the kitchen. We just saw the kitchen is so dirty after the party. What about the whole house, right? So we are just able to see the small problem, half part of it or little part of it, not the bigger issue, larger issue. So that is tip of the iceberg. Run of the mill, now which is very ordinary, काफी boring है, ordinary है, regular है, ठीक है, जो जिसमें जो special नहीं है, special aspects नहीं है, very very ordinary. So for example, any movie, if it is run of the mill, means time pass, right? In Hindi, if I have to explain it to you, I can probably say time pass. Just time pass, not interesting, not different. Okay, very normal, ordinary. Augur well for, when we say augur well for, means indicate, okay? Predict or indicate something nice will come, right? Good things for somebody, good things will happen. So rain does not augur well for the game. If rain happens, it will not augur, not is written. It will not be good for the games, right? Augur means it is a good, you can say, prediction. Something good might happen, something good might come out, right? Have good or bad expectations for someone or something, augur well for. Okay, so yeah, it can be used for both positive and negative. Usually we say augur well, well is written, so it is negative. ओके, अ साइन, कोई एक ऐसा साइन of specially something good to happen, especially good in future, in the future. So you can use the same phrase guys, augur bad also, augur well also, both can be used. ठीक है, right? कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है उसका आपको एक साइन मिला, ठीक है. So augur well for someone. Now there are 50, part 1, and we are going to do part 2 also, so I'll share that also. But before that, let me tell you, if you take sessions on Oliboard platform, anything that you buy there, you can on Oliboard, you can use my name as the code and you will get extra 5% off. So if there is discount of 30% with one offer, for example launch, but if you will not use this code and you will use this code, you will get 35 extra 5% off. So guys, any mock, any test series, any course you are buying on Oliboard, you can use my code. It will be really helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because there are a lot of things I'm going to get here also, grammar, vocab, then a lot of English stuff, right, which I will share very, very soon. So do subscribe if you're new here. Also, you can see the link of my Telegram group. If you want the PDF of these idioms, common idioms, important new idioms, please join this Telegram group and I will share the PDF also. So click on this and it is Harshita Khurana, the grammar girl, very easy to find on Telegram. You can see on my channel also in the description, the link is there. Click and you will be able to join and you get the PDFs of this also there, right? Okay. Hello. Thank you, and yeah, I'll share more of the content. Now, this was very much demanded, a little delayed, but yeah, I finally shared it. Part 2 also very, very soon. So please go through it, 50 idioms, use it, and try to remember these. Thank you, guys.